Attention, Ben. All right, so, you know, I happen to believe that there's two underpinning truths. Number one, that a member, a barbershopper, sings for his own enjoyment. And it's got to be fun. And number two, your society exists to perpetuate and preserve the barbershop style by supporting the member and our lodges in their fun and enjoyment as individuals, quartets, and doing their part locally to perpetuate and preserve this incredible fraternal American art form, barbershop harmony in your communities. Kind of simple. Now, our society, since its inception, has been on quite a journey, especially when you consider that we've been growing all during COVID. Think about that. Growing during COVID. Wow. And I'd like to thank those who are leading and helping to shape our fledgling society, and I'm going to begin with your board members. So if you please stand, we'll applaud once I go through the list. First, your Executive VP, Mr. J.G. Lombardo. Preservation and propagation of barbershop quartet singing needed to clearly define just what we're trying to preserve, which led to the formation of our style committee. Chairman, Mr. Steve Delahanty, if you please stand up. Members of that committee, Mr. Joe Brown, J.G. Lombardo, Don Barnick, Don Gray, and Bobby Gray. Thank you, guys. Now, the next big point of business was to take action upon members' survey we had conducted in the previous December, which 87% of the 380 respondents wanted some sort of traditional quartet contest. This led to our contest steering committee, Chairman Mr. J.G. Lombardo. Yeah, and Kenny Hatton, and Ken Buckner, and Bobby Gray, and George Gibb, and Scott Brannon, and input from many other capable men for sanity checks. Now, one big challenge to this group was simplifying a judging system using member judges to make it fun and a showcase for our style, what we're trying to preserve. Now, you heard earlier, Jay created a judging system that tested the system many times using both men that were judges and just Joe Barbershopper. And we discovered that Joe Barbershopper really knows what good is. You heard that today, I think. And then there was a need to create a special trophy to present our Worldwide Barbershop Quartet champion that required some money. So we asked for donations, and members responded generously. Their names are listed in the program, but I want to acknowledge one gentleman that put us way over the top. Mr. Jim Law donated $15,000. That allowed us to not only get this beautiful trophy, but medals and a whole bunch of other stuff that we've enjoyed this weekend. And I'm going to pause for just a moment. So when I got up to have a little oath for our quartet champions, and it was a lot, I kind of went sideways and I forgot the serious part of it, which was page 2. And that is in honor of our Terry Clark Memorial Trophy and the Clark family, and just how important and what an incredible job Terry did. I mean, Terry was a little bit of a rebel, and this whole kind of society was a little bit of a rebel, because we're going back to traditional barbershop, kind of breaking with the norm, and that really need to honor Mr. Clark. So I apologize that I got a little lightheaded and went right straight by that. Mr. Graham Huba. We got her done. Now, during the same time of trying to do all these different things, we needed a vehicle to communicate with our members, something you'd enjoy reading and be proud of, and thus the birth of the Encore newsletter came about, with submissions by lodges, board members, and special content by Mike Evers for woodshedding, and our tagmeister, Mr. George Zam. And then You like the Encore newsletter? Yeah. All right. Encore, yeah. And then this convention with Paul Cohen leading the charge in securing the facility. He was challenged by new hotel personnel and all kinds of other things that would make you cringe. And then Kenny Hatton working on the whole contest portion, how this whole thing goes together. And I think they both did a wonderful job, and I'd like to say congratulations, guys. Thank you. And another guy that silently is here all the time, because he happens to live here, and we tap him all the time, Mr. Artie Dolt, who I don't know how many times he was now, this weekend, Paul Cohen, events chairman, Artie Dolt, IVP, our Grand Poobah, Kenny Hatton, the associate Poobah, J.G. Lombardo, with magnificent support from his wife, Helen. I can tell you that watching. Stage manager, Clem Trammell, timekeeper, Eric Saley, our chief of staff, Steve Delahanty, shepherds, Joe Brown, Raymond Schwarzkopf, masters of ceremony, Rick Taylor, Brent Anderson, photographer, Jim Hackard, lights and sound, Ron Arias, videographer, Chad Bennett, registration, Roger Ayer, Diana Dolt, and some of the Harmony Bells, and our audience judges, runners, which was my beautiful wife, and yours truly, and then our quartets, without which there'd be no chord ringing and there'd be no any kind of quartet contest. So I want to say thank you for all those people that put this together and worked their butts off. In the barbershop world, there's lots of different dignitaries for lots of different reasons, and there's one man you probably saw walking around, and I don't know if he's been acknowledged from the stage, but that is the president of AIC, Mr. John Miller, and I'd like to say thank you for being here.